What if I told you that every time you forget someone's name, it wasn't an accident? What if it wasn't bad memory, or distraction, or social awkwardness? What if, in that tiny 3-second gap of panic, your unconscious mind made a decision without asking you? A decision to reject, to protect, or to preserve energy. Before you dismiss this as overthinking, stay with me, because the next time someone says, "Hi, and their name evaporates into thin air, you might realize it was never lost. It was filtered. You look them in the eye. You shake their hand. You nod politely as they speak. But literally, 3 seconds later, a terrifying realization washes over you. You have absolutely no idea what this person's name is. It has vanished, deleted, as if the audio track of your life just skipped a beat. You are still smiling, still holding eye contact. But behind your calm expression, there is a frantic panic. You replay the last 10 seconds in your mind, desperate to find the echo of the sound, but there is nothing there, just a blank space where their identity should be. You are not alone in this. And more importantly, you are not broken. You are not rude. You are not developing early onset memory loss. And you are not uncaring. What just happened in that 3-second window is not a failure of intelligence. It is a sophisticated, albeit inconvenient mechanism of your unconscious mind. While modern neuroscience talks about cognitive load and attention deficits, the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung offered a far more profound and frankly more disturbing explanation over a century ago. He suggested that we do not forget things by accident. We forget them because deep down in the shadow of our psyche, we decided not to remember. To understand why you specifically struggle with names while you can remember the lyrics to a song you haven't heard in a decade or the face of a stranger you passed on the street, we have to stop looking at memory as a hard drive that randomly malfunctions. We have to start looking at it as a gatekeeper. Jung believed that the conscious mind is like a small island in a vast ocean of the unconscious. Everything that lands on that island, every name, every face, every number, is allowed there by permission only. If a name doesn't stick, it's not because the island was full. It's because the gatekeeper threw it back into the ocean. The question you should be asking isn't, why is my memory bad? The question is, why did my unconscious mind reject this person? It begins with the persona. This is one of Jung's most famous concepts, derived from the Latin word for the masks worn by actors in ancient Rome. The persona is the face you present to the world. It is the polite employee, the charming guest, the attentive listener. When you are introduced to someone new, your psychic energy, or libido as Jung called it, is often almost entirely consumed by the maintenance of this mask. You are not actually listening to the other person. You are unconsciously monitoring yourself. Am I standing straight? Is my handshake firm enough? Do I look interested? Is there spinach in my teeth? Your ego is so preoccupied with the performance of meeting someone that it has no bandwidth left for the actual content of the meeting. The name is external data. Your behavior is internal survival. The brain, forced to choose between social survival and data storage, chooses survival every time. You didn't hear their name because in that moment you were the only person in the room. This is not narcissism. It is a defense mechanism. The more anxious you are, the heavier the mask becomes, and the more deaf you become to the outside world. But it goes deeper than just social anxiety or distraction. Jung proposed that our interactions are not just person to person. They are unconscious to unconscious. When you meet someone, before you even speak, your intuition is scanning them. You are reading micro-expressions, pheromones, and energetic shifts. If your intuition senses that this person holds no value for your future, or perhaps represents a threat to your psychological stability, it will not tag the file. Think about it. You rarely forget the name of someone you are intensely attracted to. You rarely forget the name of someone who terrifies you. You rarely forget the name of someone who offers you a massive opportunity. In those cases, the emotional charge sears the name into your memory. The forgetfulness happens in the gray zone, the mundane, the polite, the irrelevant. Jung would argue that your forgetting is a form of ruthless honesty. Your conscious mind is smiling and saying, "Nice to meet you." But your unconscious is saying, "This encounter is temporary. Do not waste energy storing this label." This creates a fascinating paradox. The people who are often the most empathetic, the ones who feel the atmosphere of a room most deeply, are frequently the ones who are worst at names. Why? Because they are reading the essence of the person, not the label. A name is just a linguistic tag, a social convention. It is arbitrary. John or Sarah tells you nothing about the soul of the human standing in front of you. If you lean toward introverted intuition, you are likely absorbing the vibe of the person. You remember that they looked sad behind their smile. You remember that they felt authoritative. You remember the weight of their presence. You are processing deep data. The name is surface noise. You filtered it out to focus on the signal. This brings us to the uncomfortable concept of the shadow. Jung described the shadow as the unknown dark side of the personality. Everything we deny, reject, or wish to hide about ourselves. Sometimes we forget a name because the person standing in front of us activates a subtle projection of our shadow. Perhaps they possess a trait that you repress in yourself. Maybe they are too loud and you repress your own desire to be heard. Maybe they are arrogant and you fight your own inner arrogance. The irritation caused by this unconscious projection makes the mind recoil. Forgetting their name becomes a passive act of psychological distancing. It is not intentional cruelty. It is unconscious protection. If we remembered absolutely everyone we met, our psyche would collapse under the weight of irrelevant connections. Forgetting is necessary, but when it happens chronically, when it makes you feel isolated or incompetent, it suggests imbalance. It suggests you are either too wrapped up in your persona or too detached from concrete reality. The modern world demands we function like computers, but you are not a machine. You operate on meaning, not raw data. Now consider something else. You almost never forget a piece of gossip. You rarely forget information that affects your survival or status. Your brain is ruthlessly efficient. It keeps what matters and discards what doesn't. Pause and think about the last time you forgot a name. Were you worried about what to say next? Were you rehearsing your lines? Were you trying to impress? When ego fills the room, there is no space for the other. True connection requires lowering the ego. When you are trying to be interesting, you stop being interested, and memory follows attention. There is also a darker possibility. Chronic forgetfulness can signal psychic entropy, energy flowing inward instead of outward. You shake hands, but you are not fully present. You are living in your internal monologue. The outer world becomes ghost-like. People become phantoms, and if you never name them, you never fully relate to them. Nameless people cannot hurt you, but nameless people also cannot connect with you. This armor protects you and isolates you. Jung's solution was not memory tricks, it was integration. Wake up, integrate the shadow, shift from persona to self. When you operate from the self, you are not performing, you are witnessing. And the witness remembers. Stop trying to be impressive. Start being curious. Turn the name into an image. Translate the word into symbol. Speak the language of your unconscious. If you meet Rose, see a red flower. If you meet Mark, imagine a bold check mark. Give the name archetypal weight. But deeper still, confront the part of you that does not care. Next time you feel the fog roll in, catch it. Admit internally, I am drifting. That honesty disarms the shadow. Then consciously choose to re-engage. Honor their existence by remembering their name. It becomes more than etiquette. It becomes awareness. Jung believed in synchronicity. What if the person whose name you are about to forget is a messenger, a guide, a lesson? When you treat every introduction as meaningful, your attention sharpens. We rarely lose the keys to doors we truly want to open. You are not broken. You are operating ancient biological software in a modern world. Your brain prioritizes essence over labels. That is strength, but it must be directed. The next time someone says, "Hi, I'm..." Pause. Breathe. Silence your inner commentary. See the human being. Turn their name into an image. Lean in. And watch how your bad memory transforms. It was never about capacity. It was about connection. Stop forgetting. Start witnessing. The world is full of characters. Every one of them carries a name that unlocks a story. Don't let those stories dissolve into background noise. And if this felt uncomfortably accurate, that's not coincidence. It's awareness.